First of all, welcome, and thank you for agreeing to do this. I know you're a busy man.
Hello, Mendy Portnoy.
Hello.
This is a talented young man.
Thank you.
Very talented young man.
It's not about me, though. This is about you.
Oh, fabulous keyboard player, fabulous arranger. We'll talk about that soon.
Thank you. You've probably done many interviews before, and lots of people know who you are. If you could give me a 60-second summary for someone who might not know who you are, who's Avraham Fried?
Well, my name is Avraham Friedman, for the record.
I'm wrong already.
Born in Brooklyn, New York, where I still reside. My family, Baruch Hashem. Started singing at a young age, about 4 or 5 years old, as a little kid. Then I was in my yeshiva choir with Eli Lipsker, Olav Shalom. Had some good solos, which there are recordings of, by the way. By the age of Bar Mitzvah, I did several concerts across the US, some recordings for Stei Chemed, for Eli Teitelbaum, Olav Shalom. And Eli Lipsker put out some records. Back in the day, it was records. Remember that? And then at the age of 13, my voice changed, as happens to people. And that was that. I figured, okay, it was a nice little foray into singing. Now it's over. At the age of 20, something gave me an inspiration to get back into singing.
Can I ask what that was?
Well, my first full album was with Shia Mendelowitz, Olav Shalom, who heard what he liked what he heard when he heard me sing for Suki and Ding before that, and for other people that I recorded for. And he signed me to a full album, which was called Tan Tan Tan, No Jew Will Be Left Behind. And we're still working on that motto.
The inspiration was him signing you, or something personal happened that made you decide that you were going to go and do this?
Combination.
Okay. As a child, what kind of music did you hear in the house? Was there music in the house?
In my parents' home, I listened mainly to Yom Tov Erlich, Yiddish cassettes that were playing in the house. Some Chazonis was playing. Mudgets had some albums out, maybe 1 or 2 out with Benzia and Schenker. Sure. David Werdiger had some albums out. We had basically Chassidic music, some Chazonis, and Yom Tov Erlich. He was amazing. He inspired me.
You've recorded some of his songs?
Yes.
You seem excited by that.
I am. Can I give you a scoop?
Yeah, please.
Give you a scoop. I am currently in the studio recording Yiddish gems that I've recorded in Yiddish in English.
Wow.
A lot of hard work getting it translated properly. Took a lot of work. So I'm excited about that.
I mean, I guess we'll see when we see the final product, but how is the challenge of taking something which, Yiddish songs, it's so much of the personality is in the language and in the words. How does that translate?
You'll wait and see. Okay. Wait and see. I think the challenge is you can't translate word for word and line for line. It's just not possible. So you have to have the feel, the theme of the song that he's talking about, not to lose the original warmth and message, and to do it a little more, not going to say a more modern way, but something a little more contemporary. Sure. That'll attract the English-speaking audience. So, but I think I'm aware of that line, and I'm trying to combine the two.
Cool. From when you first started doing what you do, there weren't too many people doing it, and it was definitely a new thing and a new sound. Oh, yeah. Can you talk to me about the changes between then and what's happening today?
Well, if back then there was one color in Jewish Hasidic music, today it's a rainbow. Okay. Today it's booming, and today there's no reason why someone should say, "Oh, I don't find my connection to Jew." Today everything is in Jewish music, rap, and whatever you want, you can find it in Jewish messages, Jewish, sure. And all kinds of beats and all kinds of rhythms and all kinds of arrangements. So I think it's booming today. It's booming. Is it the way it was back then? Clearly not. There was one style then, basically within a certain box, and today it's out of the box. And I think it's attracting much more listeners.
Okay, well, so the truth is I didn't plan on getting to this question so early, but seeing as we're here, let's go for it. For you, what does Jewish music mean? You know, you said the colors within Jewish music and a rainbow. What is Jewish music?
I would venture to say that Jewish music is music that makes you feel Jewish. Makes you feel closer to God. I think that's the objective of Jewish music, to make you feel like you're a Yid, that you have a neshama. That doesn't only mean slow, crying songs where your soul is looking to connect. You could be dancing and feeling like God's child, you know.
Right, so it's nothing to do with genre or...
Well, of course, obviously, but I think overall the general theme of Jewish music is, does it make you feel Jewish? I think if you're listening to a Jewish song, another thing, people say a Jewish song means composed by a Jewish composer.
Right.
Okay, many Jewish composers around, you know, throughout history weren't necessarily writing songs to connect you to God. Right. So they had other ideas, great composers, great songs, but is there holiness in there? Is there any kind of kedusha in there?
I like the answer because I think so much of that kind of ties in with this idea of authenticity. You know, anyone can take a pasuk and do something with it, but I feel like you can always tell if the person means it or not. If they're, you know, finding words that fit to a melody or a beat is not that hard to do.
I think today there's such a beautiful, there's so much of Jewish music that makes you feel closer to Hashem, makes you feel Jewish. The slow songs. Now, Yiddish has become very popular.
Sure.
Chassidic singers are putting out songs in Yiddish that are so beautiful. And I've been dreaming this for a long time, to take, you know, Chassidic sayings or stories of tzaddikim and putting them into songs, whether it's Yiddish or English, like Avraham did. That's why he had such a long-lasting impression on us as little children, because he taught us about emunas tzaddikim, about how tzaddikim kept Shabbos, and stories about emunah and the Mesiras Nefesh. So it's exciting that today Jewish music is satisfying every need. There's no need to go look anywhere else.
Right, we got you covered.
We got you covered. Good line. Good title for a song. We got you covered.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got you covered.
I want to speak a little bit about the importance of Chabad Nigunim to you, and maybe your connection to the Lubavitch Rebbe. I don't know if you want to do that separately or how tied that is together.
I was about to say, you want to hear Jewish music?
Yeah.
Put on a Chabad song.
It's just on that point. I didn't grow up Chabad. My family's not Chabad. We always had a very close connection to Chabad. And for me, there's nothing more Jewish than Chabad Nigunim. And if I'm davening, you know, most of the time it's not in shul, it's in my studio listening to Tzama, listening to all those albums and all those Nigunim, because when I hear those songs, that's what gets me. So
you know the Portava Nigun?
Maybe if you sing it, I'll recognize
it.
Okay, I don't think I do.
Gotta listen to that. And you drive back home,
done.
Put on Portava Nigun.
On repeat.
So I recorded 4 albums of Chabad Nigunim, which I'm very proud of, Baruch Hashem. And one of the Nigunim on there is called the Poltava Nigun. The Rav of Poltava, a city in Ukraine, composed it or loved to sing this song, whether during davening or whether in his moment of feeling that he wants to connect to Hashem. Beautiful song, 3-part song, which just keeps going and climbing. It just, the neshama is like breaking out. It wants to be close to Hashem. And it's a long song with no words, no tempo, and you'd think, who's going to connect with that kind of a song? People want, you know, a tempo, a beat. So just last night, I sang for several hundred Chassidim. And I said to the band leader, let's do the Poltava Nigun. It wasn't even planned. It's only a piano. We had a big band. I said, let's just do the Poltava Nigun. And it was so heartwarming that as soon as I started singing the song, 1,000 Chassidim joined me and we sang the whole song together. That is Jewish nachas. That's music nachas. We sang this whole song together. It was beautiful. So I agree that Chabad music, and you know something? Most other Chassidim say to me, Avraham, sing a gitte Chabadske niggin, because they also recognize that there's something in a Chabad niggin that just, I don't know, stands above the rest.
What is it?
You'll forget. I don't know. I guess Chabad, when you tap into Chabad and you're writing songs tapped into Chabad, something deeper, something more special comes out. I don't know.
Well, I guess also in its essence, Chabad is about, the whole reaching out element of Chabad. Maybe that's what makes it appealing to other kinds of people as well. Or?
I don't know. I think just the composers of Chabad Nigunim had a certain connection with their neshama, that they knew exactly the right progression of where to go to feel so connected to the neshama that it comes out so amazing in a Chabad nigun. They were just I don't know. Maybe they were really steeped in Chassidus and Yerushalayim, and the neshama was singing.
They had a strong connection.
Yeah.
That was also what I was going to ask. That most of the people who wrote these Nigunim weren't musicians, right?
Not that I know of.
Which to me makes it even more incredible, because a lot of them, they jump between scales and modes and like things that, like, unless you're a musician actively trying to do that, I'm like, who does that? Who comes up with it?
So Mendy, you remind me of a story. The Baba Rebbe, great composer, who composed Kariboin, most great Baba songs, Rebbe Tzion. So they tell the story that he once met with Yossele Rosenblatt. And he said, if Yossele, sing us one of your great Chazanische pieces. Yossele sang a piece. Then he says, Rebbe, I heard that you're also a composer. Maybe I could hear one of your compositions. So the Rebbe turned to the Chassidim and said, okay, sing this and this song. They sang a song. After the song, Yossele says, Rebbe, you can't noten? You wrote this by notes, with writing notes? He said, no, I don't know how to write notes. He says, in that case, this is purely Ruach HaKodesh. To write such a song is only Ruach HaKodesh. So the Rav smiled and said, Yossele, if you were a maven on Lashon HaKodesh, like you are on Chazonis, I will take it as a compliment. Anyhow, so Ruach HaKodesh, call it what you want, holiness, neshamaness, but they had a certain gift that they wrote such amazing nigunim, and people tap into that. They say, Chabad has something special.
Yeah. I on this past Thursday night, I was in Lawrence. I played at a Farbrengen with my brother. A Farbrengen without any Chabad people in the room. It was at the Thank You Hashem, Mavakshe Hashem shul with Rabbi Yossi Zakatinsky. And it was amazing that I think like maybe, I would say 70% of the songs we played that night were Nigunim. And a room of 400 people were on their feet, singing and dancing, and it was just amazing to see. Like, I don't know.
I think it's time that we have a concert series of only Chabad Nigunim. Nobody will complain, oh, I want to hear Tanya, I want to hear Adrab. We've heard that.
I've spoken to Naor about bringing summer to America, and we're going to make it happen. We have to work a bit harder. But
they started Nafshi with this Kislev.
Right.
Maybe that'll be the forerunner.
Yeah, I think it's...
Explain the Nigun, explain what a Nigun is. What is music in Jewish...
Let me ask you that. What is a Nigun?
Well, I guess the same thing. Something that lets the neshama connect to Hashem.
Do you think the fact that there aren't any words is what allows that? It leaves it as like an open...
Allows it more. It doesn't restrain you to a limited set of words.
Sure.
When you're crying, why are you crying? Why don't you just say what's bothering you? Right. When you cry, you're saying what words cannot say. It's beyond the words. If you have words, that means you're not feeling enough pain. If you can articulate your pain, that's not, I mean, God, no one should feel that much pain, but if you can articulate it, that means you're still kind of on the ground. You're still
kind of being logical, practical about it.
Right. You're still sort of in the box. Sure. If you're crying, like when a person is in pain, you scream, even though the scream doesn't ease the pain. That means you have no words left. All you can do is just let out a scream.
Yeah.
So, a nigun without words. Actually, a young lady texted me the other day from Eretz Yisrael, not a from girl. She says, I started listening to your Chabad songs, and some of them have no words. That's so weird. How could a song have no words? I said, that was exactly the intention of the composers, because words get in the way. Right. This way the soul is free with no words, just to say what it wants.
And sometimes there are no words.
Sometimes there are no words, but words too. Words. David HaMelech has a whole book that connects, words, many, 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 many words. They're all songs, but with words. But then, I don't know who started songs without words. That's actually a good question.
I feel like I've heard you say or talk about the fact that you very much see what you're doing with your singing music career as a shlichus. And actually, I don't remember when it was, probably a year ago or so, we did a song with Benzi and Shmuley of 8th Day called Shliach, about this concept that every single Jew is a shliach. Can you talk to that and talk to me about how that ties in with what you're doing? What does that mean?
It means that Hashem created us and gave us a job. If he wanted angels, he could have
Created angels.
He did, and he could have just stopped there. Okay, the angels praise him all day and all night, and but he said, I need more than that. I need more than just angels singing all the time around me. I need to get some light into a world that's going to be dark. Why he decided to do that? For a different time. And he gave everyone a certain gift, a certain talent, a certain job to do. Where and when and how. So everyone has to realize that we're all his messengers to make this world a godly place. Like with the Mishkan. Moshe could have built the Mishkan himself. He had enough money. Could have said, I'm paying for it. It's on me, and get the job done. Hashem said, no. Take from everyone the machzis hashek. I want everyone to have a part in building my home, which is a wonderful kindness he did for us. Gave us a chelik in that. Same here as well. There's a shlichus. The world has to be filled with the knowledge of God. He could have done it through one person, or 2 people, 3 people. Everyone is a shliach. He gave us all this schus and this mission to bring light into a dark world and eventually get the world ready for Mashiach. So everyone does it according to what they're doing.
Abilities and talents.
Exactly. Their talents or their whatever they have, whatever God gave them. So to me, singing is a clear gift from Hashem, and I try to use it to inspire, to uplift, to make people happy.
Doing a pretty good job. So
I want that in writing.
I'll give it to you in writing afterwards. So I've noticed recently you have been spending lots of time on planes, which in general you do, but more recently in and out of Israel. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you've been going for, what you've been doing?
Actually started a week after the war began. I had a bar mitzvah booked in Eretz Yisrael, and my guys there decided to come a few days earlier. There's plenty of work here. Visit some soldiers, some wounded people in hospitals, and other people who needed chizuk. And I've been back now 3, 4, several times. And I must say that I've never felt the power of music like I've been feeling since the war began. Wow. Because I could just see how you come into a room with people who just witnessed some horrific, like Zaka people. There's an organization in Israel called Shura. You ever heard of Shura? No. Neither did I till I went to sing for them. Zaka brings in the bodies, and Shura has to identify them. That's their job. My job was, this is a week after the war started, so they had just seen some horrific things. And my job was to kind of, I don't know, give them back some life, give them back some chizuk, give them some. And you walked into a tough situation. There was a thickness in the room. What can you say to such people? What are you gonna? Started singing, and after 2 hours later, thank God, the place was dancing. Some cried, we laughed, we danced, had some l'chaims. So I saw the power of a nigun, how it could just lift you up and give you back life. Almost like Tchiyas HaMesim, in a sense. And then to go sing for the soldiers. Mendy, what could I tell you? Eretz Yisrael now is wounded. I mean, it's a very tough there now. But when you're with the soldiers, it's like you would say to yourself, I want these people at my concerts any time.
You wouldn't know, he's saying.
They were just in Gaza an hour ago. They're going back in an hour. They lost friends and comrades and fellow soldiers. But their emunah, their simcha, their dancing, their betochen, it's just unbelievable. These young soldiers, Hashem should protect them. Amazing, amazing. Their energy, they're the happiest people in the world. Just came from Gaza, going back into Gaza, fighting a war, incredible. So I'm very humbled by this. These days, this Eretz Yisrael during this difficult time.
Do you have any more lined up? Are you back anytime soon?
I just came back 2 days ago. Just came back.
I'll give you a few days off before you
yes.
take a break.
Can't get enough of that.
Talking of Israel, you have a pretty amazing connection with your Israeli audience. When and how did that start?
Wow, that's a good question. When did it start? When did it start? I've been performing at Yisrael. I always put it to you this way. I'm Baruch Hashem very busy. Eretz Yisrael is the most busy. I can go to Eretz Yisrael very often, very, very often. Small country, but they do a lot of concerts. Thank God. The audience there clearly stands out in their love and appreciation for my music. Right. I mean, here in New York or around the world, people say, "Oh, Avraham, great music." No. Eretz Yisrael, they say, "Avraham, ohavim otcha. We love you." There's much more gushing of thank you and then keep it up. And it's funny that what attracted them, before I even started singing songs in Ivrit, was Tanya and Adarab. The heavy stuff from Yossi Green's heavy classics. And over the years, somebody sent me a song called Ale Katan, which was an amazing gift. And then since then, people kept saying, "So do some more Israeli stuff for your Israeli audience." I said, "But I'm not an Israeli singer, I'm a Chassidic singer." "No, but it's a better connection to the crowd, the safa, the language." Okay. So I did some Israeli songs, singles here and there, Mishor Lechiti and Rak Tfilah. I did some singles. And then the day came and we decided, let's do a full album. And people love the album, some good material, good stuff. And that was my, contribution to Israeli music. I think today, a lot of Hasidic music is being infiltrated by Ivrit music. Sure. Everybody wants to be an Israeli singer. And I say, wait a second, I don't hear Yishai Ribo, changing his, his Havara. He's not singing Ashkenazi Havara, he's sticking to his Havara, and he's singing Israeli-style songs. Okay, he'll sing a Nafshi, but most of the songs are Ivrit with his Havara. He's not changing up to over Ashkenaz. Why are we reversing that? Why are we suddenly...
I think it all comes back to this point of being real, being authentic, not saying what's successful right now. Yishai Ribo is successful, so let me try and make myself a version of him.
It's called imitating.
Yeah.
I think it's much more healthy to be who you are.
Well, it clearly works. It's always been very striking to me that you sing your Israeli songs with your accent as 100% you, and I feel like for the audience also there's a charm to it. It's like he doesn't sound like every other person we listen to, and he is being him.
Okay, but there has to be a balance. No, you have to know you're a Hasidic singer, then 90% is your Hasidic stuff. Sure. You want to appeal to a different audience? Okay, I can do Yiddish, I can do English, I can do Ivrit, but that's not who I am. That's not.
I think organically also that your Israeli music has kind of managed to bridge that gap between the religious Haredi world and the secular world.
But again, that gap was filled. What attracted them originally was not my Israeli song. Yeah, sure. I wasn't even dreaming of Israeli songs. Sure. It was the Tanya. It was the Adarab. It was the Nish Gedaiget. It was even I didn't understand it, but there was something real about the music that attracted them. Sure. So this is like another. To me, it's a rainbow. Okay, so I have Chassidic, I have Yiddish, I have English, I have Chabad. And now I have Israeli, so it's part of my musical rainbow. But who am I? I'm a Chassidic singer, you can't forget that.
Right.
So I think most Chassidic singers today should remember, okay, we're doing an Israeli song. There's too many today, like it's like a overflood.
I want to ask you, maybe for people who don't know the story, and I've only seen this story through, social media and all the rest of it, but you had a very meaningful encounter / story with Aviv Geffen. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me what happened?
Aviv Geffen. You know who Aviv Geffen is, right?
I know who he is, but maybe explain who he is in case anyone doesn't know.
Aviv Geffen, you could say, was the poster child for anti-religious in Eretz Yisrael. He was like the bad kid, the real nasty kid, always attacking whatever is holy to us, whatever is precious to us. And during Corona, I never heard any of his music. I didn't really know who he was musically. During Corona, someone sent me a clip. He gave a concert in an empty outside theater. And in the middle of his concert, he says, I want to dedicate a song to the people of Bnei Barak. He and Bnei Barak? That's like worlds apart. How'd that happen? And he was crying and he was saying, like, I was raised to hate. I was raised to hate from people, religious people, Torah, mitzvahs, God. He says, you know what? I had enough of it. I'm stopping to hate. Can't hate. No more hate. Love, love, love. He dedicated a song to the people of Bnei Barak. After seeing that clip, someone said to me, you know what? Send him a text. Get in touch with him. This could be a moment of opportunity to reach out to him. Sure. Maybe something broke. For him to cry and say, I'm tired of hating.
Big deal.
And make a long story short, I sent him a text. I said, I'm Avraham Fried. I'm also in the same business, music business. I don't know if you heard of me or not. But maybe one day, I was very touched by what you said. And maybe one day we can collaborate and do something together. He wrote me back. He says, I've heard of you. I've heard of you plenty. You're popular here in Israel. And you never know. Maybe we'll do something together. And that's it. Here we are. So we did a single together. We did a couple of things together. We did many concerts together. At every concert, in front of thousands of people, he came out and he said, I apologize to you. I was blinded by hate. And I'm done with that. No more hate. And it's time. Yeah, it was amazing. So the best reaction from many, many people that I got with this Aviv Geffen was, Eze Kiddush Hashem. By the way, the first time we met, I came to his house. I think it is in Tel Aviv, I think. And we're sitting and talking for the first few minutes, and everything's going wonderful, and we're chatting, we're schmoozing. And our discussion was interrupted. Can you guess why?
Siren?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no
Not
way.
just, yes, sirens and explosions overhead. So he ran home to his kid, and I ran to the driver who was waiting for me. We drove a few feet, and there was like mamish overhead, so we pulled over and ran under a building or something. And I'll never forget that. It was pretty scary. That was our first meeting.
In a way, that kind of, it sums it all up. I think, we all have our different, everyone has, the different issues with different kinds of Jews and secular and religious, and within each one of those but when a bomb siren goes off and you need somewhere to hide, is anyone really going to say, hey, Or I always say, if someone needs to say Kaddish because they have a yard site for someone, and you're looking for that 10th person, are you going to ask him what kind of yarmulke he wears? Or are you going to say, we need you right now, get inside,
On the other hand, when they send a rocket, they're looking for a particular Jew.
They don't care.
Exactly, because they know, Hayid is Hayid.
Yeah, it's just a shame that it takes for those reminders, but please God, we won't need them one day. Here's a question. If I got into your car, what would I catch you listening to?
Nothing. Maybe Chazanas.
Chazanas? Okay.
Yeah. Right. Actually, now that I'm recording stuff for the new album, so I'm listening to mixes and listening to stuff.
Yeah, but that's not enjoyment, that's work.
That's true. But if it's good, I enjoy it.
Yeah, no.
If it's good, I enjoy. You enjoy a good take.
Absolutely.
You enjoy a good performance.
By the time it comes out, I normally never want to hear it again, at least for a year or two, when you hear things so many times.
I have the same thing. While I'm working on it, I'll listen to it a gazillion times. Like once it's out.
Yeah. I do have the one time I listen, like once something is released, I always listen to it once, and I kind of listen to it with like imagining that I'm someone else. It's kind of this weird like, okay, now it's too late. I can't make any changes. What is that person?
By the way, I love your series of Chabad Nigunim on piano.
Oh, thank you.
I love that.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
beautiful interpretation. Beautiful.
Thank you. I did one, and I made sure to call it Volume 1 because I want to do more of it. And
there's plenty of it.
Yeah, I could
Endless.
do nothing else.
Endless. Chabad Nigunim is endless.
There's also just, I think there's a time and place for different kinds of music, and there's sometimes where you want to teach someone a niggun and you want to keep it very simple, and these are just kind of more of like a self-expression. Like, this is the tune, and now I'm going to go and,
Yeah, you know what's interesting?
I find over the years singing for different audiences, some audiences are not religious audiences that I sing for. What am I going to sing for them? My classics, they don't know.
Right.
What do you sing for an audience that doesn't know Chassidic music as we know it today? What would work? So I've come to the realization it's one or two options. Chabad, not the heavy stuff, but a lot of Chabad stuff is universal. Any audience can appreciate it. And Shlomo Carlebach. Chabad, for its depth, for its intensity, for its deepness, and Shlomo for the simplicity. Yeah.
Funny, that was actually the first piano album I did. I did a
Carlebach
album, yeah.
Amazing.
I want to wind back to the first time I met you and worked with you through with Thank You Hashem. Yes. And I guess I kind of want to tap in for a second just in terms of what Thank You Hashem is doing or trying to do with our music. Can you tell me like about that experience and working on Mama together? I mean, I have all of my very happy memories from it, but
Mama. We're going to do it by the piano.
We'll do it afterwards, yeah.
Okay. First of all, Thank You Hashem guys. They're on fire. They are on fire, bringing good music and everything connected to Hashem. That's amazing. Every song they got to get Thank You Hashem in there. That's it. Because
you always got to have gratitude.
And there's nothing without. That's it. He sent me songs in the past, and I remember listening. Yeah, Eli Melech, exactly. And when I heard Mama got me right away. Because first of all, to me, Tata or Mama already pulls me in. I hear a song that has Tata in it. Yeah. Tata is just a certain love connection, and Mama, of course. I said, another Kol Barama? I mean, come on. Right. But it had such warmth, it had such feeling, it had such tefillah to it, that it was a no-brainer. And your introduction, your intro to Kol Barama is so perfect and so different and so beautiful. I told you, we had a concert some months ago, and they did a 25-minute medley of all the Kol Baramas. Wow. The last one was Kol Barama of Eli Melech. And when the intro started, it was so unique, it was so special. I think I called you afterwards to tell you that.
Pretty sure you messaged me, yeah. It's funny actually, I think it was like the first month after I moved to America, and my wife and I were still living with her sister, and I was like in a spare bedroom with like my niece's broken piano, and they were like, we've got to start working on this song. And I'm like, okay, well, I think these keys work. I was like, all right, that's it. That's the intro.
On a broken piano.
Yeah.
That's a story.
Yeah. And then I remember calling Ari and Eli Melech and saying, I know this is crazy, but what do you guys think about recording a symphony orchestra on this track? And they said, what's the question? And I was like, well, it costs a lot of money. And they're like, yeah, but what's the question? I was like, okay, here we go. And we did it. And
there's a story about, what's his name? The famous violin player.
Yitzhak Perlman.
And he once did a concert and a string tore in the middle, and he was able to play the show with missing a string. This could be a story.
Maybe.
A broken piano. Writing intro on a broken piano.
And it was also amazing playing it at the Has concert with you. That was a treat.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So kol hakavod.
You have recently added author, book writer to your list.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Actually, it was the brainstorm of Yuval Stupel,
Sure.
my musical conductor in Eretz Yisrael. And he says, you know, a lot of kids today, the young kids, 4, 5, 6, 7, till about mitzvah age, don't really know your stuff. Like, where should they hear your stuff, you know? So why don't we do a book, a song book? We'll take 14 songs and we'll put it into a book for you. Push the button, you know, and it plays a song. We'll have a picture with it. And I said, sounds great. Let's do it. He says each song is a minute long because you're limited.
Right,
to
you have like probably a small chip or something
exactly,
inside.
Yeah. So he redid the arrangement. I re-sang the songs. This guy did some beautiful pictures, 14 beautiful pictures to accompany each song. And thank God it's flying off the shelves. Baruch Hashem. For me, the nachas is now my grandchildren are singing. Yehi ratzai milfanecha. I said, wow. They're singing Kol Yisrael Ovel. Songs I've already forgotten, you know. And so that's wonderful. That's really, really beautiful. And we did 2 versions. Each song came with a little explanation of the song.
What it's about, right?
So for the Hebrew version, there's the Hebrew little snippet, and then we have the English version, which has an English little summation of what the song is about. So I'm proud. By the way, number 2 is in the works.
Oh, there you go. That's how you know it's a success.
That's it.
What's in store for you? What's coming up?
You Hashem.
I won't say it. I don't like giving final, but within the next few months there'll be a new album out, You Hashem.
Amazing.
There'll be a new CD, whatever they call it today, USB, whatever it is. Just finishing the final touches on a couple of songs, and I hope people will like it. It's been a long time since the last CD.
When was the last one?
Whatever, too long ago. I hope I haven't lost, you know, the touch or the connection. So that's exciting. Because I'm working on Yiddish gems in English.
Sure.
That's exciting. So a lot of traveling coming up, and I hope to be able to bring some more light to the world through music.
I love that. For someone who wants to do this, whatever this is, because it's a constantly changing, being a Jewish singer or artist or performer is, the parameters of that are always changing. Is there some kind of advice that you would give them to help them along the way?
Yes, first and foremost is, what is your message? Like, what's your contribution? What does Jewish music, what doesn't it have that you will fill in that void, that gap? Or what are you bringing to the table? And do you truly believe in yourself enough that this is what you really want to do? You're going to give it your 100%, and you'll make a difference. I think that's the most, your talent, I mean, that people will decide, right. You know, your hatzlacha, that God decides, you know, but what are you bringing to, was kommst du zum Tisch? What are you bringing to the table? Yeah. So if you're a storyteller, maybe, if you have some kind of a chiddush, a different angle, you know, there's many great talented singers out there today. A lot of it's more of the same.
Right.
Okay, a different arrangement, a different, you know, but it's more of the same family. Sure. If you have a nice chiddush, people will say, "Oh, this is good," you know.
To be unique.
Yeah, if you can. Mm. On the other hand, there's such a need today for singers that, you know, that the more the better.
Right. Yeah. Also, I guess just putting out music is now. It's so accessible to anyone who has a laptop and a microphone.
Exactly, and there are talented people out there, very talented. Some with great voice range, you know, voice ranges and style and a lot of gifted people. Right. But what's your unique chiddush? What are you going to be remembered for?
What do you imagine the music when Mashiach comes, when we have a Beis Hamikdash?
This is it.
What is it?
What we have now. What's going to change?
This is the music, really?
Yeah, what's going to change? The Leviim will come back. Moshe will come back and say.
And hopefully, I'm going to ask to not be a gatekeeper and instead for them.
No,
to
you're going to be the conductor. You are a Levi.
Yeah.
They'll teach us what they used to sing. Okay. We'll learn that music. We'll give it a good rock and roll beat, and we're good to go. And that's it. We have music today. What's going to happen? Today's music is going to disappear.
I don't know.
It's going to happen. But the world is not changing.
Right.
The world is, the step will remain a step.
I guess in my mind, from the Mashiach books as a kid, everything seemed much more biblical and ancient.
It'll be more holy. It'll be more spiritual.
Will there be a piano that I plug in, or will everything be acoustic?
Of course you plug in.
With a harp? I don't know. Maybe it's
no electricity. What are you talking about?
Know.
There'll be electricity in the Beis Hamikdash. We'll have heat, I hope, so the kohen doesn't have to stand on a cold floor. Right. Everything we have today, we'll use. Right. If God made it, it's going to disappear. It's not going to disappear. We'll use it. We'll incorporate it. So we'll incorporate today's music into what they used to sing, and then we'll see who attracts a bigger crowd. Right.
Thank you, and thank you for taking the time.
You're very welcome. We forgot the book.
Oh, you need to show everyone the book. Can you just look at the camera and smile? Like, this is the book.
This is the book.
This is the book we spoke about.
Listen to this. Oops. And it has a beautiful picture with it. Look at that, Yerushalayim. This is the book, friends. The kids will love it, and your grandkids. All right, we got the plug-in.
We got the plug. Before you go, there's a really nice piano behind you. I think we
can
play a couple of songs. Turn around.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.